OK, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How does European Union policy affect people like you and me? European Union laws are passed by UK ministers and MEPs together with those from other member states. Now, these laws have an impact on our lives in more ways than you might think. Can I get a cod and chips, please? Now, take this meal, for example. EU policy affects how much farmers and fishermen charge for their products.
That's £3.40, please.
So this can make a difference to how much you pay. Do you know what chemicals were used on the potatoes for your chips? The EU works closely with farmers and sets limits on the use of pesticides on food crops. How do we know this fish is safe to eat? EU laws make sure our sewage and wastewater are treated properly so they don't pollute our rivers and seas. This also means that when we go on holiday, the water is safe to bathe in. Clean air is a big issue for the whole of Europe because pollution doesn't recognise borders. EU laws limit the level of exhaust fumes and emissions from power stations. Catching a plane is now easier and cheaper than ever before. Part of that is due to EU policy. You can go to more places because there are now more air routes between different countries of the European Union. Speaking of choice, have you ever wondered why you have so much to choose from when you go shopping? The European Union is the biggest single market in the world. Barriers to trade have been removed, which means goods produced in one EU country can be easily sold in another. Whether it's a Greek olive or an Austrian ski hat. Are you getting exactly what you pay for? EU laws protect the rights of consumers. A good example is food labelling, which tells you exactly what you're eating. Always read the small print. When you're out and about, do you feel safe? What about preventing crime? Because it's now so easy to move about between EU countries, the freedom we have to work, travel, live anywhere in the EU can be taken for granted. That's why EU countries work together to combat drug smuggling, terrorism and organised crime. Not only that, the EU allows joint decision-making between national governments when they deal with the rest of the world, helping to keep peace and economic stability. The EU member states aim to help poorer countries in their development. They provide international assistance ranging from food aid to technical and financial support. OK, I've mentioned just a few issues where EU policy has had an effect. Things like the environment, trade, consumer rights, freedom of movement and crime prevention. Some people think it's better to handle these sorts of issues entirely within their own countries. Other people think that more countries across the globe should be involved in agreeing policies like these that affect the whole world. What do you think?